I want to make it straight.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I think we're good. So I've been here a few times and really opposed to reading the same thing more than once. So I tried to dig out some things that maybe I hadn't read here before. And I lived in New Orleans for about 7 years, and when I moved back, one of the first things that happened was me and my family went to Gasworks Park. We were playing there up on top of the hill, and the grass was wet, and I was running around with no shoes, and I slipped. And when I landed, my ankle just snapped in 3 places and dislocated, and it was very horrible. Somebody on a bike called 911 and, went to the hospital, and, they give you the really good stuff when you do that, like morphine. And so I wrote some poems while I was on morphine. So I thought this might be interesting. This is called When You Tell the Story. When you tell the story, arguably, the best part will remain the part that stays untold. That being said, the world is growing miles by the minute, giant builds of green folded enough to cover thousands of pool tables, soft felt. The twin blades of shoulder backed into windstorm, a shadow flung high on strings, a village at the foot of a baking soda volcano, waiting for a candy-colored eruption under clouds of applause. A gray sky and a father's eyes, his words sneak through. The gardens I grew in your head are not there to hurt you. We circumnavigate fat cat stomachs and find fevers that only tourists can find. We bring the strange cats home and watch them eat domesticated birds instead of watching TV. Underwater sirens pull men down by their ankles. Some songs can do that. Heavier than anchor weight at the ankle. Less forgiving. More likely to return, so for the story's sake, let's call this the scene of the crime. And all these blades of grass were careless weapons dumped haphazardly in a rash, pick-up stick moment. Beauty is often like that. Accidental and disconcerting. We dissected silkworms by moonlight in China and made fireworks from loud noises, tea from a trembling warmth between our 2 hands as you reached for me and I reached for solace. In holy places, giant stones gather, raise themselves up in a show of good posture, lean in to whisper about temporary things and the shapes deceit likes to dress in. I can't call these days shattered glass anymore because something stronger started to crack and crumble in the anatomy of the funeral parlor, interchangeably classroom, church, or courtroom, in the physiology of an exorcism that the short attention span of the devil always walks away from. I have come to tell the time when daylight is saving her pennies to melt down into copper and give August some color. I have come to seek direction, standing on the compass face, unable to close my awl-shaped mouth. But I leave here bound and breathless, bandaged on a board, in an underwater siren that sounds silent on a city street.